Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renae Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of one band. If you've never listened to this podcast before, the one band that we talk about is Dave Matthews Band. In 2026, they are celebrating 35 years. I say they, we, all of us are celebrating 35 years of music from this band that we love so much. And so each episode of this podcast is a fan of Dave Matthews Band sharing their journey, why they continue to follow this music, where did they find this music? And everyone has such a different story. So every episode is completely different. If you find one that you do not like, that's okay. Skip to the next one. They're all very, very different. And with almost 200 episodes, there's going to be one that is just right for you. So this episode is like every episode. I have a guest on the show. So let's get right into it. Tell us your name and where you are from.
Hey, everybody. It's Sean Bowen here. I am from Connecticut and one of the fiddle players of the DMTB. Have been for, I think my tenure with the band goes back 20 years. So
Wow.
you have to date me, but yeah.
We're going to dig into that for
Oh,
sure. Yes. So Dave Matthews Tribute Band Week is this week. So if you've been listening, you will have heard from a lot of guys. Can keep listening because not only are all the band members on the show this week, but some of the backstage people that make all the magic happen from behind the scenes are also going to partake in this week because they are just as big a part of DMTB as the people that you see on stage. And so I want you to get to know these guys. I have gotten to know them, and I just can't brag enough about how awesome you guys are doing. So we're going to talk about DMTB later, but let's dive into where did you first hear about the music of Dave Matthews Band?
Oh man, that goes back. I think from the very beginning, right? From 94, Fun on the Table and Dreaming came out. I think probably the first song I heard, and so I was, I don't know, 7th or 8th grade or something at the time. I remember hearing What Would You Say? And then I heard Ants Marching shortly thereafter. And I've been a violinist since I was 3 years old, right? And more on the classically trained side.
Wow.
And so when I heard that, I was like, oh, whoa, like that's something else I can do with the instrument, right? So it kind of immediately grabbed me from there. And that's really my first intro into Dave was really the first album. So yeah, thinking that's over 30 years ago is kind of crazy. But
I know it hurts a little bit to say that, but you're like, well, I can do the math. It's been that long.
Yeah, I've aged myself in the first 2 minutes of the podcast, but
hey, I don't know how old you are, but I can guarantee I'm older than you. So yeah,
well, we don't have to disclose that, right?
No.
I don't know the age.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not ashamed. I'm 46. I don't know. I'm not ashamed.
Right.
I'm like, yay, I'm still alive. So before we talk about anything else, you got me with one thing that you said. You said that you've been a classically trained violinist since the age of 3.
Yeah.
What? How did that happen? Like, were your parents into music, or did you just pick something up and go, I want to do this, which is crazy for a 3-year-old, but like, how in the world did you get into it at age 3?
Yeah, well, it wasn't my choosing, I guess, at 3. But yeah, my parents, neither of them are musical per se in that they play instruments or sing or anything. Like my dad does sing, but they're big music people, music fans. And they just started me at that age. There's a method to learn music called Suzuki, which is like a Japanese way to teach children music, which is very auditory, listening to play, focus on intonation. And so it's like very, when you're that age, it's very immersive and it's just very, you're a sponge, obviously. So when you start really young like that, it's easiest to learn that way. So yeah, that's how they started me. And then I just kept with it. I guess I enjoyed it.
And
I
you
did a lot
probably had a bit
of,
of an audience, right? Like at 3, a little guy walking around. I mean, that
yeah,
attracts everyone.
yeah, I guess they used
It does.
to dress me up in my sailor suit and bring me to, yeah, I don't know.
It
They're
got
probably
you out
gonna
there
make
making
money off
trips.
this. Oh yeah, I don't remember back that far probably, but yeah,
No.
so I started young and it's always been a part of my life. In my adult life, it's just been more of a passion and a career. Yeah, music has been a big part since I can
Can
remember.
you think of when that went from just something fun to do to a passion? Like, what happened to make you fall in love with it?
Yeah, it's like I don't know when you start for so young, it just really becomes a part of who you are, I guess. But I think maybe in my later teenage years, when I guess my playing was becoming a bit more proficient. And then I could extend beyond classical music. I had a violin teacher who played in a country western band too.
Oh,
So whenever
yes.
I'd go through like my classical studies and do like my homework per se, he would let me play a lot of bluegrass stuff or introduce me to some Celtic or trad music and that was kind of like the dessert, right? That was like, okay, you did your hard work, now like have some fun with this stuff. So that's kind of
Right.
really where I really fell in probably more in love with the instrument, and which really leveraged into Dave, right? A lot of the stuff that Boyd did is just kind of based and rooted in type of bluegrass fiddle.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, yeah, when I got a little bit older, teenage years, and I kind of was able to express musicality outside of like just the notes on the page, it was like, I think where it, kind of really, uh, became a bigger passion of mine.
Yes, yes. And it sounds like, I'm thinking about your parents still and having you out performing so young. But honestly, like that was a hindsight's 2020, right? Like whoever knew that you were going to be on stage and in front of people. And so that really helped you get comfortable from a very early age to be in front of people because it's one thing to be able to play an instrument, but then also to be able to play an instrument in front of a crowd of people. There's
Yeah,
pressure. There's a little pressure.
for sure. Yeah, performance in front of people is a lot different than practicing in the mirror at home.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think I probably got rid of a lot of those nerves just kind of being in front of performing at an earlier age. I can say with this band, like I'm just excited to play. Very rarely do I get nervous. It's rare that I get to play with these guys, so when I do, it's really exciting. There's no nerves at all. It's just getting up there and leaning into it and having a good time. So
Having a good time. Yeah, because this
yeah,
music is
that's
so
what it's all
fun.
about.
It is, and the era that y'all represent, of course, just having the fiddle in there at every show, no matter what show, that is so much fun for you, I'm sure, to play, but also so much fun for us as the guests to receive all of that because that's not something that we get anymore with Dave Matthews Band, right? And a lot of people miss that sound and I think I can safely say none of us are expecting that to come back into the band with Buddy able to kind of mock that sound a little bit with his keys. He's
I
really
may be
cut.
available though, Renee, if they need
I
me.
mean, if they
It's
need somebody, I know a guy.
an
I know a
ignored
guy.
no guy. Yeah,
Yes, I think it's cool that they still play tribute, if you will, to the sound of that, and fans just go crazy when that happens, when Buddy's
yeah,
playing,
yeah,
some kind of whatever song with a fiddle sound. So, let me make sure that I'm right on this because you're going to know, and I'm always assuming when I
yeah.
say this, but I think I'm right. Watch me not be. Okay, so the difference between when people say fiddle and
No boy.
violin. Okay? That can be confusing for some. Now, is
Yeah,
the difference the style in which you play it? Or is
yeah.
it two separate things?
Yeah, it's a debate as old as time. There really is no
Yes.
difference. It's the same
Okay.
instrument. It is really more on the stylistic playing, right? So a violin is going to be more akin to classical music, whereas a fiddle it's a little bit more loose. You're playing double stops. You're like it's more attributed to bluegrass music or trad music and things like that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's no difference. There's no if you go to the music shop and ask for a fiddle or a violin, they're gonna hand you the same instrument. So yeah,
Okay,
it's just the way
gotcha.
you
So
play it.
debate is clear. I was right.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yay!
You're
I knew
right.
I heard it somewhere, but there's still so much, I think, just in talking to so many people and so many fans, there's just like that hesitation of what to call it. And I'm like, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I think you can call it anything. I think it's just in how they play it. So I'm glad I can
Yeah,
now comfort those in the future with correct information.
yeah, I think on the website, I think they probably listed it on our page as violin, but, we refer to it as a fiddle. It's
Fiddle.
just kinda
Yeah.
interchangeable, so
Yeah.
I think I refer to it more as a fiddle, so
So let's
there you
go
go.
back to finding Dave Matthews Band. And of course, you said what attracted you to them was the fact that they had a fiddle player, because not a
Yeah,
lot of bands in general, unless you are talking about bluegrass or country or, things like that, don't have a fiddle and also, an electric guitar. You were attracted to them naturally because they had a fiddle player. And Boyd
mhm.
was one that you couldn't miss. His stage presentation was just always at volume 10, his just all over. And he really cheered up so many people with his vivaciousness on stage. And so, what were some other reasons that you liked Dave Matthews Band?
Yeah, I mean, just the sound was a bit different. Like, obviously, that during that time, it was, like, during, like, the grunge rock era, which
Mhm.
I listened to that stuff too, right? And there's, like
Yeah.
but then this band came out of left field with, with kind of jazz instrumentation and a fiddle. And then like Dave, it was just a new sound because, a lot of music, the progressions are quite familiar, right? And but I think just like his riffs and stuff maybe has something to do with his upbringing and his, the South African background or his kind of worldly view of music. Like it just was different, right? Than kind of
Mm,
the stuff that I had listened to before. And then when I started to like take a deeper dive into the music, obviously the thing that grabs you right off, like the marquee thing is like the big violin solos and stuff like that. But it was more for me was like the harmonies that like the sax and the fiddle kind of interwoven throughout the music, like those arranged parts. And like the early Dave was just there was a lot more space in the music and just like for obviously that lends well to improv and stuff, but it was just kind of raw, right? And so that kind of grabbed me. I was, young at the time, but it was just
right.
different. And I think obviously violin was the thing that hooked me. But then as I studied more of the music and just been a fan of the music, it was just something I hadn't heard before. And I could play the tunes too, which also helped kind
Right.
of like you hooked me into the music. So that was yeah, that was kind of what drew me in initially. Yeah.
Have you ever had the opportunity to see Dave Matthews Band live?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You have.
I've been to many shows. I would say like the best years for me in seeing shows were like the late 90s through the early 2000s, like formative years for me in, high school and college. And those were like the years where I feel were the best era of the band, like
Yes.
musically and the songs and stuff. So I saw them a lot then. I haven't seen them as much over probably the last decade, a handful of times, but yeah, I saw a lot of shows in the early days.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad. What
Yeah.
was your favorite venue that you saw them at? Because everyone talks about venues because
Yeah.
they're all kind of different, right? Like some of them you feel like you're walking into the same thing, you're just in a different state. But have any of the venues stuck out to you?
Uh, yeah, I mean, like, not so like SPAC is like a top one, obviously,
Oh yeah.
being in Northeast. It's no, it used to be called the Meadows in Hartford. I'd go there every year. That's just like an amphitheater. That was great. They used to play Giant Stadium like three shows in a row every summer. I was at the Two Step Rain concert that famous show. So yeah, I think I like the. I've also seen them at MSG a couple times. The smaller venues for me are better, but it's hard to see them in those venues given how popular they are, right? So,
Right.
SPAC is great, and the crowd's great there, and it's just nice
Yeah.
being nice venue and being outside. So, have you been to SPAC before? And
I
you
have only one
off the
time, but
bucket list?
I have a list and I got to mark it off. So it was
I know you're a
beautiful.
well-traveled concert goer, so I'm sure you've checked some of them off the list.
I guess that's my life now, and I'm down for it all, right?
You
Because
travel for
in
DMTB too, though, which
I
is
mean, I'm just
great.
like, whatever, what all of it. I want all of it because I need that live music. I need to be in front of people that are playing it. I mean, it is so completely different than just listening on the radio or
Mhm.
You know, even watching it on YouTube, it is just completely different to be in live music, whoever it is. And you guys really are able to just fill a void when Dave Matthews Band is not on the road for the thousands and thousands of fans that
Yeah.
really are going through what they call Dave-pression, right? Like where there are no shows scheduled. Nothing is no knowledge of what the next year holds. And that's a hard spot for a lot of people. So I always encourage people, don't just don't get depressed. Go see DMTB and let them like fuel you up a little bit and then go
It's
girl, go
just
see the band, you know? They will fuel you up. And so I'm so excited to have you on the show. So let's talk about how in the world this whole DMTB thing started. Like how did you get word of them and how did you become part of this group?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, like I've been involved with this band in some capacity for, I guess, over 20 years now. I think it was 2004 with Ryan Clifford, who started the band, the predecessor of the lead singer. Back then, as you well know, there was no Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or anything, right? And what I guess Dave fans had at the time was, and you might be a member or were at one time, the antsmarching.org,
Mhm.
which is like a forum, right, for Dave fans and to chat about anything DMB. And I think there was a musician forum in there. And I think occasionally I would just throw up there like, hey, fiddle player in New York, looking to jam or whatever. And so he got hold of that somehow and reached out to me on a whim and just said, hey man, like I have this Dave tribute act and we're going on, I think it was like a 2-week tour through the Midwest and the South. And he's like, do you want to join us? And I had no way to vet this. He didn't
Right.
know how I was either. Like it was
Right.
complete blind faith. And so I said, yeah, sure. Like, let's do it. So I flew up to Buffalo on a whim and I think they picked me up in a van with no seats in the back. I thought it was like some
First
extortion
impressions.
scheme or something. I don't know what, but yeah, just threw caution to the wind. I think we might have had like a 2-hour rehearsal, completely different configuration of the band, obviously. And we played our first show that night. And then we went on a tour, like it just zigzagged through the Midwest and then down through the South and had the time of my life. Like it was incredible. We were playing to, good crowds. And this is back now 20 years ago. And like
Mhm.
I guess the crowds were all of college age. Those were the people that listened to Dave at the time. So it was raucous parties, frat parties. Like
Yes.
we just had a great time. Um, and so that was my first kind of intro to the band. And I would play a bit with them. I've always had a day job. And so I've never been able to like fully commit to kind of going on tour, and
Right.
gigging full time and then later on family. So it doesn't lend well to that. But I would play a bit here and there. And then I didn't for, maybe, I don't know, probably quite some time when my kids were young. And then maybe in the last 6 or 7 years when Ryan was still involved in the band, he reached out and asked if I could play a couple shows, which I did. And then when David took over, I don't know how many years that is now, 3 or 4 years,
Mhm.
I took a more active role, and I've been playing as much as I can. This is, like I said, it's not something I can do full time, but I love it so much when I get the opportunities. As long as they'll have me, and I can make it, I'll be there.
Awesome. You know, I had a lady on my show not too long ago. She was also in Dave Matthews Tribute Band about 20 years ago. She
Oh,
said she
really?
was a lovely lady. Was that a time frame that you were in? Did y'all have lovely ladies?
I don't think I don't, not when I was playing anyway. That's interesting.
Yeah, because she
I
said
always
Ryan
wanted to,
Clifford.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. I mean, like sometimes it'd be, obviously part of running this and this David side of the business side of it is like, it'd be great to play with, bring out horns and bring out lead guitar and the lovely ladies and the whole thing. But, it's a big expense to be able to do that. So that's awesome. It'd be great to
I'll
really,
be a lovely lady for free, but you'll have to
yeah,
auto-tune
anytime,
me.
Renee. You can
Do you
step
have
out of the mic
auto-tune?
anytime. Yeah, we'll set you up. It'll be perfect. I mean, you can
I
do
know
like
all the words.
you do granny or something that's more like chanting or shouting. So like that's
I can do it.
fun.
That's so
I think
funny.
I'll
I've
be
been
I'll be
saying
on some shows in Florida coming up. I believe you're going to it, so like
I
we'll
will
get you.
be at all of them. I will be traveling with you guys and documenting every single thing y'all do. So we'll see each
Nice,
other.
nice. So we'll get you on the mic. That's a
Oh God.
promise
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
or a threat, however you look at it.
We'll see what happens. You'll have to stay tuned, guys. Who knows? Of course, yes, this is January right now. Next month is February. And so DMTB is on the road. They've been on the road. They did the
Mm.
big New Year's Eve, Christmas. I mean, there's a new tour all of the time, it seems, for
Oh, yeah.
Dave Matthews Tribute Band. You guys stay on the road. I know that you are only able to do some shows. Totally makes sense.
Mhm.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to be away from home, especially with families and work
Yeah.
and all the things. But I'm so glad that you get to be part of it when you do, because you are exceptional. You're really, with your expertise, you're really able to just make the perfect sounds that really do pay tribute to what Boyd once did in this band. And that's what everybody's after, is not, it's not necessarily who's playing it. It's just that sound that they're after,
Yeah.
right? Because those are the sounds that a lot of people fell in love with if they found the band in the 90s or the early 2000s, which again, I agree with you on the early 2000s. That was an amazing decade, right? Like an
Yeah.
amazing decade for the band. Not that they're not killing it now. I love them now. But like there
Yeah.
are I like to call it, there's the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the 2020s, right? We're working on 4 different decades here. And they're all very, very different. But I'm so glad that you are part of this. So tell me, what is it like to continue to be playing with them? I know that it does create kind of a brotherhood between all of you, because being on
Yeah.
the road, whether you're on the road with them for a weekend or however long, there does have to be a little bit of, give and take. You're not
Yeah.
with your wife and kids anymore, right? So it's a different lifestyle completely. So do
Yeah.
you enjoy that? And obviously you could consider this travel, right? Like vacation time away from
Yeah.
life. Go and have
And
fun and also get paid.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's a complete outlet, right? It's like you said, it is a brotherhood. I really just enjoy everybody in the band as people, but also what we share on stage, right? Like that's everything. It's like you said, it's not easy what everybody see. Like this goes for any touring band. What everybody sees is you up on stage, and that's great, and that you can do that for free. But like a lot of work that the guys do behind the scenes, the social media aspects, the business side of it, the driving long distances, the loading in, the loading out. There's like a lot of waiting. So like it's a real, they really run it professionally. So whenever I get a chance to play, like I love it. And like for me, just being able to be with the guys and share the stage and play the music that we all love is
Yeah.
a treat, right? It's especially since I don't do it full time. Like
Right.
whenever I get the opportunity to do it, it's great.
Yes. Now, because you're doing this, does that keep you from still seeing Dave? Like, do you think you're going to see Dave? I mean, this year we're celebrating 35 years. And again, we've already talked about this, but we don't know how much longer we have, right? So, like, do you think you're going to sneak in a few more Dave shows?
Yeah, I'd like to for sure. Never like
You
I'd
live
like
in
to
the
go.
best space.
I do. It's a very close concentration of shows in the summertime.
Yes.
That being said, like I don't go to that many of their shows, so I'd really like to make my way out, like make a pilgrimage to the Gorge or something. I've
Oh,
never been there, so,
yes. Yes.
so we'll see. Maybe that's in the cards for next year. I don't know if they've even announced they're playing
They
next
have
year.
not. I have heard a lot of rumors, and I'll send those to you because you should see them.
Yeah.
But that's on the
So,
DL, guys. Sorry, I can't release information. I don't even know how
of
I get the
course,
stuff that I get. I don't
don't
even know
worry,
how
of
I get it.
course.
But okay, so let's talk about your family. So, wife, how many children? 2 children?
I have 2 children. Yeah,
Yeah.
a daughter is 15 and a son's 12. Uh,
Awesome.
my wife,
So,
and we live here in Connecticut, nice and cold.
I can't imagine. I'm in Arkansas, and I think today the high is like 30, and I'm miserable.
That's
It's so
balmy.
cold. That's what I'm hearing. I had some friends from Ohio down, and they were just like, "This is nothing." And I'm like, "What do you
I
mean it's
I don't
nothing?
know how the
It's like
guys choose to
really
live in
cold."
Buffalo.
I don't
They always
even
say
know.
it's, I'm like, I don't know.
I looked at the weather right now. Okay, I said 30. It's 58 degrees here.
Oh, shorts weather.
It's
That's shorts weather.
summertime
Yeah.
here for you guys, right? So with your family, I'm sure you have so much support, and I'm sure they've been out to see you in some capacity play. Have they
Yeah.
ever seen you play in Dave Matthews Tribute Band?
Yeah, they have. It's funny. I think my own family is probably my harshest critics. My son he's pretty funny. He refers to us as the Dave Matthews Copyright Act. So he doesn't give us any
Oh,
he's joking for sure, but it's yeah,
he
no,
knows
it's
where to
good.
poke you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they get out to see me when they can. I mean, like a lot of times we don't play too many shows very close to home here, and a lot of times they'll be at bars and things like that. But they've definitely
Hmm.
seen me. They hear me playing at home, whether they like it or not. So
Yeah, it's part of them,
yeah, no,
part of
they're
their lives.
they're supportive because they let me go and do this. So
Yes.
that's I couldn't ask for more.
So when it goes outside of Dave Matthews Band music, doing all the DMTB
Yeah.
stuff, like your life really does have a lot of Dave Matthews Band stuff in it. So if you're just kind of wanting to get away, if I were to get in your car right now, what would be playing? Like, what are you into now?
Oh, I listen to everything. Just I think I listen to a lot of like folk indie type of music. Like I've been listening to a lot of the Bonnie Light Horseman albums. The first three albums are great. I don't know if you've heard of them before.
Oh,
Listening to Fontaine's DC, which is like an Irish rock band. Like I'm kind of like I'll listen to hip hop. I listen to everything. I grew up listening to classic rock. Through my dad.
hmm,
I'm embedded all of that in me. So I have just a broad appreciation for everything. But I think like my Spotify top, my 2025 is gonna really heavily like focused in like kind of indie folk type of music.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, which has some fiddle
Well,
in it too.
absolutely. I mean, you're still listening the fiddle again. It's in so many genres of music and
Yeah,
it's done so differently in so many ways. So I can see where that would be really
yeah,
interesting. So what does the future look like for you guys? Are you ready to get back on the road this year? You've had some time
yeah,
off.
yeah. I mean, these guys are speaking about the band. They're road warriors. I mean, they are. Yeah, there's a long tour coming up in start of the year. I guess
Hmm.
ending this year and then starting in early Jan. Unfortunately, I'm going to be playing quite a few shows with them, which is I'm excited about.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all over the country. They're, the normal spots on the East Coast, and they're making their way all the way out to California.
It's crazy when I saw that. And then the fact that they have to be on the East Coast and like, I don't know, 4 days later or something crazy. I'm
Yeah,
like, whoa, is that a mistake on the calendar? No.
yeah, yeah. The routing is not always the best now. No, they do a good job about that. But like, yeah, and a lot of really good venues.
Hmm.
And ticket sales I've heard are really great already, which is really awesome. Like the band is just kind of growing, the fan base is growing, so it's really so much fun. And yeah, it's great. It's great to be on here promoting it with you. And I know you've done such
Absolutely.
great promoting it too. It's really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So I think the biggest hurdle when talking about a tribute band, and I've spoke with everyone about this, is that some people just don't get it, right? Like, why go see a tribute band when I still have Dave Matthews Band?
yeah,
What would you say to someone that had that kind of approach of like, why? Not in a negative approach, but just like, because there are some reasons why. What would you say?
yeah. I completely understand that sentiment, right? Um, I think the word tribute is really kind of what hopefully differentiates what we do. And there's lots of other bands with tribute in the title. Like we're not looking to replace DMB. We are just a complete appreciation, mutual admiration of the band, right? Like we just love the music and we want to pay tribute to it, right? We have so much fun doing it too. And it brings joy to people. Like, I've been at shows where people come up afterwards and they're thankful and they've expressed they had difficult weeks, or some people have expressed they've lost loved ones, and just being there that week has kind of, lifted them up. And like that's really important. So it doesn't matter necessarily what you're playing, how you're playing it, where you're playing it. It's just that you're bringing joy or spreading love. And like that's to me does we happen to be playing another band's music, that's not lost. But we're hopefully we're doing it in a way that we're spreading the joy of the band and what they probably tried to embark upon their fan base for 35 years now, right? So
Right.
that's the way I look at it. I mean, there's no
Perfectly
replacing the
said, I
original.
think. Perfectly
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, and again, yeah, y'all are not trying to, nobody else is too. We are so excited to still have them, and we honor and respect their musicianship and their time in
yeah.
the industry. But I agree with so much of what you said. I've been to enough of DMTB shows just to kind of stand there and observe people. That's what I
Mhm.
do, like, kind of for a living, right? Like, I'm talking to people about, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Yeah,
And people overall just are so many things surprised of how good you are, which I mean, you walk into any new thing and you're like,
yeah. Keep
we're
your
gonna we're gonna
expectations low.
see. We're gonna
Yeah,
see how good they can play the
yeah,
music of
yeah.
Dave Matthews Band. Like, because that's not easy music to just play,
That's
right?
that's healthy, skepticism for sure when you're singing a tribute act. I wouldn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
recommend
But I've
anyone
seen
going in if it's the real thing for sure.
oh
So
God, no. But I've seen
yeah,
all of those walls come down too when they hear the music, and then they get to know you guys. And between the two of those things, there's such a, like you said, so much appreciation
yeah,
for the music, and it gives so many people just that happy feeling that music gives us all, right? Like none
yeah,
of us would be here if music weren't such a positive thing in our lives. And so, just to be able to see that it is a lot and it
yeah,
makes you feel good. So it's a reciprocal thing, right? Like, and I've always said that about music in general. Like, if the musicians love it and the fans love it, it's just like a back and forth of love. And I love being anywhere where there's that much love and to see that on people's faces without them even saying words to me. I can
yeah.
see the excitement and the joy, or if y'all play a certain song that someone hasn't heard in forever or never heard live, just the
Deep cuts.
expressions on their face. Yeah, deep tracks
Yeah,
only.
I think like we don't. I mean, although we take it seriously and want to pay tribute to music, like we don't take ourselves that seriously either, right? So it's hopefully that that doesn't that adds to kind of like the guard is down when you're listening to us, right? We're not trying
Right.
to impersonate. I guess
No.
impersonating tribute might be synonymous, but we're just out there to play the music and hopefully people are there or enjoying it along with us, right? So it's a
Mhm.
community.
David likes to call you guys a traveling show. Do you agree to that?
Are we bringing like circus animals now too? Is that part of
I
it?
mean, you're bringing me around, so I think you brought the monkeys with you.
Every time they come, like helping with the loadout, there's more and more stuff. So the show kind of scares me a little bit if there's going to be like more stuff, maybe pyrotechnics or anything. But yeah, I guess so. I mean, like I said before, like David and the guys, they do such a good job. It's such a professional job, and making sure that the sound is great. Right, we have Brandon and his team and everything that comes along and like really helps to put on a good show because just having bad sound, even if the best musicians are on stage, will ruin an experience.
Mhm.
So alongside with us, like if the sound is not good, we just won't be emotionally invested in it. So like that is
Right.
so key. Best, invested in the best instruments and banners and merch and all that stuff. It's really well done. And so yeah, it's proud to kind of like put on the show, right? And make
Yeah.
make it seem like we're really representing, I think, in the best way we can. So that's
Well, remind our listeners if someone has just now heard of DMTB the very first time, where can they find you guys? Like, where can they get more information or
yeah.
where can they see where you guys are going to be playing?
Yeah, I mean, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. No, maybe not TikTok. I don't know.
You
Twitter,
are on
X.
TikTok
You're on
because
TikTok?
I
See, I
follow
don't.
you.
Yeah, cool.
Everything.
Yeah, yeah, and the DMTB.com, which has all of
Mhm.
our tour dates and bios about the band, etc. So yeah, everything is there. Yeah, and there's David, I think, who and might run. I think you have a hand in it too, Renae. Is like a lot of the social media stuff. Do such a good job at promoting the shows and the tour and everything like that. So if you're following us, you should be aware of when we're going to be in your town. I think we do a pretty good job at of letting you
Yes.
know. So.
Yes, and if you get on the calendar and guys, if you look and see that they're going to be somewhere either close to you or in proximity to for you to be like okay with traveling to, buy your tickets now because tickets
Mhm.
are flying off the shelf. They're not on a
Well,
shelf, but they're just flying out because you guys are getting such a backing of people that believe in what you're doing. I just see all good things coming. I think that 2026 will be one of the strongest years, if not the strongest year. And with that comes people just y'all selling out shows. And so those tickets are sometimes hard to find. So be sure if you have found one that you're like, ooh, I think I want to go, buy the ticket now. It's incredible because DMTB is in comparison, just it's an easy ticket, right? It's not going to cost you $500 to go see them. It's very reasonable. And one thing that I like to mention that I think this is so important and I don't mention it enough, DMTB is a band that is for hire, right? So if you are having your 50th wedding anniversary or your 50th birthday or whatever, and you love the music of Dave Matthews Band, but you can't afford 2 million or 3 million or whatever the going rate is now for
we do
for
it for
Dave
one now.
Matthews. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know, but I know that DMTB does private parties. They will come to you. And that's a conversation that you would just have with David, setting all of that up. But just keep that in mind because there's a lot of celebrations that happen during a year, and so keep that tucked away in your mind. And I think that there's a part of the website that says if you're interested, you just send an email to David and he'll reach out to you. But definitely be thinking of that. That's such a fun way, and I've seen so many families hire you guys. Have you gotten to be part of any of the private show parties?
Yeah, I played quite a few. They're great because obviously they're hiring you for a reason, right? They're all
Yes.
Dave fans or so it's really great when we get to play those shows. Yeah, I mean we've played far and wide private parties at people's
Mm-hmm.
homes, country clubs and everywhere in between. So
Yeah.
it's obviously different from playing like a music venue, but we always bring lights and sound and everything and put on a really good show. So it's yeah,
Yes.
I enjoy playing those as well.
Yeah, you guys should do that. I mean, if you can't do it by yourself, get 10 friends. I know you've got 10 friends that like Dave Matthews Band. If you're listening to this podcast, just
Yeah,
say, hey, if we divide it up by 10, we can get these dudes in my backyard or wherever like you want them to
yeah,
play, and you will have like your own personal show. And something cool that DMTB does. Now, I think I'm right in saying when you do a private show, you can have a hand in what is on the set list. Is that correct?
yeah, for sure. Like again, we're even in our non-private shows, like we're always listening to the crowd or the fans and we want to play the songs that they want to hear as long as we know them, right? So for
Yes.
sure, I think, the band is definitely accommodating at those types of requests for sure. So
Mm-hmm. It's so much fun because you can
instead
yell
of
and
writing
scream
them
at a
money, I would wear maybe the fishnet tank top that Boyd wore back in the day, but there's like it's got to hit a certain threshold in the
well, if you
pay.
wear the
So that
fishnet shirt, you
yeah,
have to wear like leather bottoms. You have to go all
leather
the way,
pants.
or
Then
you don't do
yeah,
half.
no, I'll go all fully vested in.
You should have never said that on this show because I will know when your next private party is, and I will just ring a ding somebody and go, listen, I need for you to request
I'll get the
for him
space
to wear.
between podcasts and the DMTV fans together. We can create something
Uh-oh,
beautiful.
you better start shopping now. Have it ready because you want it to like fit well and all those things. So
Start the
that's
GoFundMe.
yeah, that's some homework for you in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I can't thank you enough, Sean, for just being willing to come
thanks for
on
that.
and share, your personal journey with not only your fanship in Dave Matthews Band, but how it has elevated to the point that you are now on in a tribute band that is genuinely just paying tribute to the first, I like to say maybe the first 15 years of Dave Matthews Band, because it all kind of depends on do we have the keys or not, right? And so there's a
No.
lot of ins and outs with your band as far as who will be there. There's some steady faces that are always at
Yep.
every show, but then when it comes to the fiddle, the keys, there's only one key player, but there's a couple of you guys. How many fiddle players are there?
Yeah, there's quite a few on the roster, I think. So there's Alexi, myself, Abe also plays quite a few shows, and there's a new guy, I believe his name is Evan, just played a couple shows from Buffalo. So, and they're kind of always looking to get fill out the roster because unfortunately, none of the fiddle players are full time, so that they have to kind of continually depends on kind of where the band is in the country, they will bring in a fiddle player. So
Awesome.
I'm just happy that they'll continue to have me even on a part-time basis when
Yes.
I can play. But yeah, so that's there's there's a few of us there in the rotation. So depending on the night, you might be seeing any four of us or five of us, but everybody's great.
You're going to
So
enjoy them all. That's right. It doesn't matter. Just get to a show. And again, get those tickets now, even if it is for February, because the band just released its schedule through, is it like through April?
yeah,
Or
I
was it
think it
just, yeah.
ends up in early April, I believe. It just came
Yeah.
out.
So
So they're
there's
adding
a
dates
lot of dates.
as they go. So
Yeah. You got to be sure to go to their website, check it all out now. That way you can plan. If you're anything like me, I like to plan. So plan your year out because it's going to be a busy one. I mean, not only are we celebrating 35 years of our favorite band, we are celebrating DMTB and how they are giving us the sound of the first 15 years of this band back, right? Without having to listen to a CD or YouTube, which we all still enjoy, but to be live in a room, close your
just
eyes and feel like you're in 1995, that's an incredible feeling and one that I haven't felt in many, many years. Just that sense of youth is back. And I know a lot of people, it just brings them, it takes you back. And even if it's not something that you are familiar with because just, age is not on your side, you were born later into the years, this will give you a good idea of what it sounded like before you even knew them, what they
before you were born.
started with. Yes, yes. And so basically you're just doing a deep dive in music history. And I think no one can say no to that. There's many ways and many reasons why you should see this band. So again, be sure to get those tickets today. Sean, thank you so much. We will be seeing more of you throughout the year, guys. Stay tuned because I am on schedule to be traveling with DMTB throughout the year. And so, of course, that gives me access to share things with you guys that you would not normally see. And so I'm excited about my journey with that. Yeah, I mean, all good stuff. Well, guys, again, stay tuned to the show. You never know where we're going to be. We're on the road to Mexico in January, February with DMTB, March with DMTB, April probably with DMTB. And then I have a slight feeling that DMB will be back out on the roads in May. So, guys, stay tuned to the podcast we're on every social media, all the things that you can think of. Plus, if you're interested in sharing your journey being a DMB fan, whether you just found the band or you've been in love with them for the whole 35 years, email me at simply under Renae at the space between podcast dmb.com. But guys, in the meantime, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band.